Okay, we have Bengali Bombers on the Week 11 podcast for the third straight week.
Oh, boy, that sounds good. It's good to be here, Dave. Happy Gobble Gobble Day, everybody. Hope everybody has a good holiday coming up.
Just let me put this in perspective. To have the most points for the week, 3 weeks in a row, it has only been done by 2 GMs. Actually, 3 GMs. Doug in 2000, Whoop Inc., and Sal in 2011. You're the first West Division GM to have 3 weeks in a row with the most points in 15 years.
That's amazing. And you know, what I'm interested in knowing, Dave, if you know, is has anybody done it 4 weeks in a row?
Gabal, that is a great question. In the 23-year history of this league, going into the year 24 this year, only one GM has ever scored the most points in a week, 4 straight weeks. Do you know who that is, Deval?
I'm going to guess it is going to be Sal.
That is incorrect. It was actually your first championship year. You beat a guy named Doug Gangrene.
Oh, I remember. I vaguely remember him. I forget what he looks like now, but yeah, vaguely remember him. I think I know who you're talking about.
There you go. All right, Deval, you had an impressive cruising victory, 64-44 over the Psychos, who beat you in that heartbreaking 2011 Dave & Buster's comeback by Psychos. But since that time, you've dominated him in regular season.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, domination. You know, it's just that day, that night at Dave & Buster's, you remember it, you were there. Such a heartbreak, but that's how you bounce back, is you bounce back and you hit them even harder.
That is true, and Deval, Bengali Bombers, is doing that in the 2015 season. Week 11 podcast. You want to be on the show, score the most points for the week, be an explosive team, and be balanced. All right, you have Deval, you're going on uncharted territory in the next week. You have 10 wins, which is the most by a Western Division GM since the year 2000 when Gangrene did it. So you have a chance to... Gangrene had 11 wins in 2000, so you have a chance to tie that record, which is very hard to do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge. Like I said, you know, I'm going to get the best shot from everybody going forward. 2 more weeks left and then into the playoffs. But they should know that they should be ready for a best shot from me as well. May the best team win.
There you go, Deval, keeping it in perspective and being humble like he always is. A class act, a classy GM. All right, another achievement that is very hard to do. You're number 1 in total points, and you have given up the fewest points against. That's only been done twice. Once again, Doug Gangrene in 2000 and the 6 shooters in 2008. What is your plan every week? Every person that plays you can't score.
Yeah, you keep referencing that Doug year in 2000. I wonder what happened that year. Let's not go back there again. But anyway, you talked about how do I do it? It's just defense. You know, you pick the right people on offense, and then the matchups have worked out in my favor. I mean, look, scheduling, you can't control who you play, right? You play who's on your schedule. So, you know, I'm not worried about the least amount of points scored against me. I'm looking at the most amount that I've scored this year. So we're going to keep that going.
That's exactly right. You can only control what product you put on the field and the in-season management. The rest of it is out of your control. All right, here we have a Twitter question from, I think, Joseph from Rhode Island. Yes, there are fans of the Bengali Bombers in Rhode Island, the smallest state in the United States. He wants to ask this question. Who, Deval, Bengali Bombers, would you want to face in the first round of the playoffs? Who would you want to play?
Okay, let's see. That's an interesting question. question from Rhode Island. You know what? I just bring it. I don't have a preference, but I guess, if I have to look at it as who's the second best in the league this year, then I would say let's just go right at it with Sal. So if I have to pick one, I'll say Sal, but whoever is on the schedule, we'll just move forward with that.
Okay. Well, systematically, it would be impossible, obviously, to play Sal because he would be a division winner. So you would have to meet him in the Super Bowl, but that could be a very possibility. You both have the first and second best records. All right. We have a follower on this podcast. He actually listens and watches the podcast on his iPad. His name is James Giampapa, and he's a young boy, 10 years old, and he's a big football fan, hockey fan. And what would you say to him that he's been an avid, dedicated listener of our podcast?
Oh yeah, that's great. We love young fans, and just let Mr. Papa know that whenever he's ready to join the league, we'll make a spot for him. But right now he's too young. I'm glad he's following the league. He gets to get some pointers, and once he's old enough and ready to go, we can fold him into the league as well. Because we like to have young people join the league early, and get involved. I'm glad he's listening to the podcast, and we should encourage that as much as we can. I know that my 10-year-old is always interested in things that are going on in the league, as you guys know. So it's always good to have young fans who can later on become GMs, assistant GMs, whatever you want to call them, and then contribute to the league. So Mr. Papa, keep going. Hopefully we'll see you around soon.
All right, there you go. Nephew James Giampapa following the podcast. We have young fans, older fans, women fans. They're all over the country following the Trash Mouth Fantasy Football Podcast Show. Parting shots for the Bengali Bombers. Once again, third week in a row. I think you're running out of opponents to trash talk.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows. Everybody knows what the deal is. Some people are still saying that, you got lucky, you got this. It's just being, it's just stubbornness, right? I mean, you got to just take your medicine and say that, yes, Bombers have the best team. And yeah, I'm talking about you, G-Man, and that dude you have next to you called Doug. But yeah, it's not luck. When you're pouring it on, when you're winning week to week, when it's consistent, when it's 3 weeks in a row you have the most points, when you have the most points in the league after 10 weeks, that's not luck. 11 weeks, that's just going at it. So you got to give some credit where it's due, man. But I think that the basement, like I said, enjoyed along with Psychos there. I think you guys are almost eliminated. Let's put it that way. But better luck next year. Hopefully you guys are learning some things in the basement to try to dig out of it.
All right, Bengali Bombers calling out the basement dwellers in the West Division and the rest of the league. He's on notice. He's letting everybody know he's obviously the team to beat. All right, Bengali Bombers, thanks again for the third straight week on the podcast. We look forward to talking to you again, which I'm sure we will. And once again, guys, if you want to stop the Bombers, you want to stop the trash talk, you want to stop being embarrassed, score points. Step up. It's Sunday. When it's time to score, you score points. Happy Thanksgiving.
Like number one said, if you don't want me to dance, keep me out of the end zone.
There you go. Cam Newton says it best. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Duvall. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and everybody in the league if we don't talk to you. And look forward to the Week 12 action. A lot of historic events happening this week.